Warning, this video might not be for you if you take life way too seriously.
Everyone, this is something that I've been super excited about getting involved in and getting to start doing. In about 2 to 3 weeks, we're going to be doing a little challenge. Now, in today's world, finding a $500 car, which I would like to do a $500 car challenge, does not exist. Anybody who knows what it's like to try to find a car right now knows, unfortunately, like this guy over here, you can spend $1,000 on a car and it's not a $1,000 car. So you're going to wonder what kind of a challenge we're going to be doing. It involves 3 Toyota Corollas. One, of course, actually my wife owns. I don't, I just get to work on it. David owns this one, which I believe is a 94 Corolla wagon, which is why I am super jealous. Mine is a 97? Yes, because it's OBD2. Mine is a 97 Toyota Corolla sedan, 4-door. And then the final one is a 2001 Corolla. The fun part to all of this is they're all so broad, and legitimately they're all cars that were like a step and a half away from going in a junkyard. To be 100% blunt and honest, and I'm sure this gentleman will agree with me, that should have been in a junkyard. That car has a long story. He actually has a video of all the stuff he had to do to it.
Some of the stuff
He had to do to it.
Up to that point.
Yes.
There has been a whole nother adventure after that video.
Yes, it's an adventure. By adventure, he means money pit. That's today's world. So yeah, I will put a link in the description to his, because he actually has a YouTube video of that car, of the stuff he did to it up until that point. So it'll kind of give you a rough idea what that man went through. The flip side of all this, I have had a part of all 3 of these cars. This one here, which we'll get into details in a second, I helped put an engine and transmission into it. The other Corolla, which is the 2001, I also helped put an engine in that one.
And this is why you don't buy a $1,000 Toyota Corolla.
The only ones thus far, knock on wood, that hasn't gotten an engine is mine. So, but we're going to go through that video. That'll be a whole nother intro later. So in the meantime, we're going to do a walk around on this. And now, the theme of the channel is going towards something I'm super excited about. It's about these less than perfect cars that are literally 1, if not 2 steps away from ending up in a junkyard. Those are kind of cool because the cars are being saved. They're not being just thrown away or used to save other cars. Now, those of you who don't know, this is David. He's goofier than I am. Yeah. He's owned this car. Well, actually, here, I'll let David explain to you all the little details.
This is my 1994 Toyota Corolla wagon. And it's interesting. It's special. It is a car that I went out and bought specifically because it was cheap. The intention was to buy it, do the minimal amount of maintenance and upgrades to it, and just use it for rallycross, which turned into an entire suspension system, the entire front end, massive electrical work, a motor, a transmission, and a whole bunch of bits and bobs. That, let's just say that this car has had a less than careful set of previous owners.
So, take us through some things. Obviously, these are clearly actually functional in this car, and we'll get to that in a minute. Why that guy?
That is actually an homage to the first truly junk car that I have ever driven. There are 2 kinds of car people. There are car people that have nice cars, and there are car people that have a lot of cars. I tend to lean towards that one.
A lot of cars.
A lot of cars.
Yeah.
But this is an homage to the first first junk car that I truly drove around as a daily driver. I had an old bowling trophy and I was looking at it one day and I went, that would make a nice hood ornament. So I carried that tradition forward to this junk car.
And what was that junk car?
That junk car was, oh my god, it was a 1989 Pontiac Grand Am.
So this does have some of the typical Corolla problems that are from this era. I know a couple of well, I know for a fact one of the door handles doesn't work.
You do know for a fact that one of the door handles doesn't work, don't you?
I can't imagine how that happened.
I have no idea.
It might have been one of the doors didn't work. Now it really doesn't work. In case you're wondering, I went to open it and
Just took the handle right with him.
the handle became mine and no longer part of the car. So, a couple things about the car. Obviously, it's very well painted. It's going from here to FEMA. It'll be to next year. Don't worry about it. Like, all y'all can get jealous. It does have bottle cap BMW wheels. And before you ask, there's another Corolla that might have the same wheels.
Yes, courtesy of me.
Yes.
Because I had an entire pile of BMW wheels. I can't imagine why.
I don't know how that happened.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
like, it's cool. You're letting it return to the earth where you got it.
It's true.
So, a short version of that, kind of a tangent, but that was a rallycross car. We were doing some testing. He managed to find a very large jump, and it didn't end so well.
Yeah, a short trip to low Earth orbit and then
Yes.
back down to planet Earth.
Yeah, it didn't go well. So that car is pretty much, I mean, it could be straightened, but you have to put it on a frame machine,
And I wanted a two-door anyway, so
yeah, which he has.
yeah.
We'll get back to the Corolla. So, hey, I apologize to all of you. It's my fault. I'm really sorry. It's not a Toyota. It's a Lexus Corolla. And this is very rare. I don't know if y'all have ever seen a Lexus Corolla wagon. I'm telling you, one of a kind.
Truly.
So yeah. Door handle, the one that I broke, is clearly right there. As you can see, I mean, I could use it.
It's still technically fine.
Now, there are some very, very custom features about this car that I promise you none of you have ever seen before. I know, though, so I feel it's unfair because I know a lot about this car. However, we'll let you guys take a look. So clearly, there's, I mean, the one is obviously the very functioning hood pins. The next, it's unlocked, right? Is I'm not opening that door. I'm not opening that door. The Bluetooth door panel, which everybody should get one. I highly recommend it. They're super cheap and super affordable to do. Yep, it gets better. You ever notice like 90s cars all have this very
Distinct smell.
very distinct smell?
That is exactly what sold me on this car. Also, it's a wagon. But when you open that door and you just inhale the 90s aroma that every single, without fail, 90s car has.
Yeah, it kind of smells like Black and Milds and cheap cologne or perfume or both in this day and age. I'll let you figure out what that is. It is functional, surprisingly enough.
Yeah, give it a go.
Yeah, see? Very nice. Also, I'm stalling. It's hot as balls in that car.
Yeah.
And it's black.
Yep.
Although the AC does work in this car.
It does work.
Yeah. In case you're wondering, the gentleman has been blessed. He has a kid on the way with an amazing wife. And air conditioning is a must. I don't know if any of you out there in the wonderful YouTube world have ever been around a pregnant female. When they say jump, you not only say how high, you ask what kind of food they want along the way. So, other things that are very custom about this car, besides the fact that a short person owns it, are these switches. Now, in case you're wondering, I know they're super rare. I know they're super hard to get. You know, all you have to do is go down. Wait, where exactly did you buy them?
I think that was Lowe's.
Lowe's. So yeah.
Home Depot also has a fine selection of rally car switch panel accessories.
Yeah, I bet y'all didn't know Lowe's and Home Depot was actually an auto parts store. you know, it was mind-boggling to me. It was great though. The door handles, or
Window
not door
cranks.
handles, window cranks,
That's right.
are clearly one of a kind.
Set of 4 custom matched chrome.
That's right. Yeah, what exactly what brand are they?
They are Harbor Freight window crank handles.
So you didn't even you didn't go high class and go to like Amazon?
No.
Okay.
I like to shop local. Yeah,
Okay, that's fair. You know,
These
that's
were
fair.
right around the corner.
What exactly does that button do? It says back door.
Oh, you know what that button does.
It obviously has the best radio known to man. Probably the cheapest one you've ever seen in your life. It is also Bluetooth. So yeah, you don't have sun visors.
I don't.
And and you don't have window tint.
You have to, when you're building a race car, you have to keep in mind that weight is the enemy.
Right, and those probably weigh about 25 pounds a piece, right?
25 grams a piece, yeah.
I mean, obviously you have a Bluetooth radio and some quality door speakers.
Yes.
You gotta have that. I mean, that's a necessity. So,
All joking aside, that speaker is Bluetooth. So all I had to do was run power to it, and I don't need a head unit, which frees it up for, you know, other stuff that I can get at Home Depot and Lowe's.
the auto parts stuff. Obviously, it's got, somebody knows exactly how to use Bondo, which is clearly done right. What is the reason for not having the rear windshield wiper?
Came with that.
That's it, huh?
That's it.
All right. Now, I know the next question on y'all's mind, is this unlocked?
I don't know. Did you use the button?
The back door button?
Mystery solved.
The question on everybody's mind is, do the hatch struts actually work? Ta-da! And there's no, stick. There's no, A lot of you can sympathize and laugh. Because usually, when you get into cars that...
Look like this.
Yeah. These usually are no good. So, you end up lifting that up and, grabbing the stick.
You do one of 3 things. You either deal with it and use your head, literally use your head, prop it up like this.
Yeah.
I have seen the broomstick, also mop handle or any variety thereof. And my personal favorite is the vice grip that you just clamp right here on this bearing surface and use that to prop the hood.
Or if you're really fancy and you really want to be cheap and you got some of them guns, you just push on them and bend them so that way they'll stay up. Don't do that. Fix it right. As we say, fix it right. And there's
This box, however, is Corolla parts. We have the brake lines that I've needed to replace since the beginning. Let's see, what else do I have here? We have the official Toyota Corolla drinking apparel.
That's right. And before you ask, yes, when we drink out of them, we hold our pinkies up.
Pinkies out. And you gotta have a Haynes manual.
The inevitable.
The inevitable.
Despite, it is a Lexus, so it shouldn't, have too many issues. Famous last words. As you can see, it has a one-of-a-kind, one-off paint job, which was done with some extremely high-quality spray paint.
Rust-Oleum.
That's right.
Gotta get them TRD colors right.
Yep.
Even though they are completely wrong.
Be polite.
The red is close.
Yeah, aside from all that, most of the stuff on this car works, if I remember correctly.
That is correct.
And I know, we see the switches and all that. That was done on purpose. It wasn't done necessarily. This car, when he got it, was a mess. Like I said, if you go down to his channel, you'll see the whole spiel on this car.
Long story short, this car was in an accident, hence the hood pins. That is because the hood would not stay closed, so those are functional. The headlights were broken in that rear end accident. Again, this is well before I got the car. And whoever reassembled the car after the accident Used only the best high-quality automotive drywall screws. About that long.
That's what she said.
And right through the wiring harness. It took me an entire 8-hour day of troubleshooting with that Haynes manual and a multimeter to find one single point in the wiring harness where the screw had you couldn't have planned it better. It went right through that wire.
So you've now owned this now, I think, over a year, right?
In fact, on my Facebook feed yesterday, I got the 1-year notification with all the pictures that we took when we were replacing this motor. And I believe the motor did last about 4 months after I bought it. 2 rally crosses and the time that I owned it before it. So yeah, about a year and a half.
So the original motor obviously went boom.
The original motor did go boom.
Now, exactly what was that like?
I wouldn't know. As a matter of fact, I was driving my very nice and shiny 2019 Toyota Tundra, while my wife, fiance at the time, was driving this behind us because I was towing a trailer. So in order to, let's say, further my passions in the automotive world, she, at 5 o'clock in the morning, was driving this car behind me on the Florida Turnpike at miles per hour. And I get a phone call, a very frantic phone call, going, "Something's wrong with the car. I'm pulling over." So we pull over, and I go to start it, and I hear claggada, claggada, bang. And not a whole lot else. So that's what happened to that motor.
Now, if you're really wondering exactly what decided, Rodney came to visit. Rodney not only came to visit, he decided he had enough of visiting in that current engine block. Out it went. Better part though, this car always ran afterwards. We drove it off the trailer.
Drove it off the trailer.
Drove it around to the back of my shop.
Uh-huh.
And if I remember correctly, we drove it into my shop to take the motor out. So currently, it obviously has a used transmission and a used motor. Now, the motor didn't have a lot of miles, like according to the salvage yard, the motor didn't have a lot of miles on it, if I remember correctly. The speedometer doesn't work in this car, does it?
Speedometer does not work, but the odometer does.
Okay, well, that's fair. So everybody's going to wonder what engine's in it. It is the 1.8, the
7 AFE?
7, yeah, that sounds about right. 7 AFE. I love that you left all the PO numbers
Yeah.
on everything.
It has 26 in it. It's a lucky number.
Oh, yeah.
And it's orange.
Yep. It does have a header on it too, doesn't it? No. Or is
It does.
Factory? No, yeah.
No, that is not the factory manifold. But the 7 AFE, as you know,
Yep.
is very common for the exhaust manifold to crack.
Yep.
So that's just how we do. My favorite part of this header is that the oxygen sensor only covers 2 cylinders.
Yeah. It's right there. And it's only that cylinder and that cylinder. Even worse, it's the only 2 middle cylinders.
Yep.
You got an oil leak there, bud.
What?
Yeah. See right there?
Oh, out of the
Distributor.
distributor. Yeah. Well, we knew about that.
Yeah. A couple very common problems in the Corollas. Any that have a distributor, they usually leak out of there. It's anything like a Honda Civics. The older Honda Civics with a distributor, they all leak out of there. It's you can change that O-ring.
5 minutes.
Yeah, it's really simple, but
Well, you can change it in 5 minutes. It'll probably take me about 15.
before all of you are now going to figure out that I have a bunch of friends that I've done work on their cars. They were friends with me before, okay, and they all have their own tow trucks. I don't have to pick them up. What would you say you have total, like off the top of your head, what you have total in this car right now, including buying it, the engine, the transmission, bribing your buddy to help you, feeding your buddy because he helped you?
I would say I bought the car for $1,000, which is about $500 too much.
Yes.
Engine was, because it was the 7 AFE, and they're rarer, What did we get that for?
I think it was 750. I thought
750.
the trans was cheap though.
The
The
trans.
trans, yeah,
I think 250. We'll call it 250.
yeah, I believe it was 250.
So another $1,000 just in the motor and transmission, and probably $500 in miscellaneous parts, going all four corners of the suspension, ball joints, inner outer tie rods, the basic I don't trust this car so I'm going to replace it parts.
So let's get this straight. You had 1,000 in buying it,
1,000 in buying it.
1,000 in engine and transmission. We'll call it another 1,000 in miscellaneous.
No, 500. 2,500 total.
So
Plus a batch of cookies for the mechanic.
I still haven't gotten them.
that's where you owe me them from.
Is that it?
That's it.
Okay.
Thank you. So yeah, so like $2,500 really, and I mean we did have, a weekend, maybe like I'd say a week total. I'd say a week doing all of the work in the car, because you and I ripped the engine out one day when they were doing the thing for Winnebago, and then you had come back later that day or later that week, I think it was, after I finished up the engine. Well, I got it running. I didn't have it done. I had it running to where I could move it around and get it off my lift. But he came back and he did wheel bearings, ball joints, all that kind of stuff. Made it safe. And I mean, it really wasn't that difficult to work. I mean, I say that I've been a mechanic for 20 years. So, but you're not a mechanic.
No, I am a shade tree tinkerer. I turn wrenches, but I would never call myself a mechanic. And
He does okay. Don't let him lie to you. But he's not. He doesn't do it for a living like I do.
That's right. But it was easy.
But I mean, back to what we were getting at: $2,500 in a car that runs, drives, has air conditioning in today's world, and he drives the daylights out of this car. This is his daily driver. He dailies this over that thing behind it, because that thing behind it gets probably 17 at best miles per gallon.
More like 14.
I was saying at best.
I have heavy feet.
Yeah, he does. I don't know. I'm gonna take a stab in the dark because he probably knows, but I'm gonna take a guess first. I'm gonna guess 24.
You're low.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, wow, okay.
The last time I actually went through and ran the numbers, I got about 28 miles per gallon in this.
Okay. That's fair. So yeah, $2,500, some work. And I mean, like doing work on your stuff is kind of nice. You know, because in the event that you get stuck on the side of the road, you know what you did to it. You know how to fix it. In the event that you can fix it on the side of the road, you're going to. Like nobody, unless you have AAA, likes getting their vehicle towed. And even if you do have AAA, that's a whole another spiel.
It's a 6-hour wait.
Yeah. By the way, if you have AAA and you have to use them, get the app.
After driving it up to a rallycross, I believe it was down in St. Lucie. So it was a 250-mile round trip, in the middle of which I rallycrossed the crap out of it, got it home, and we need to do some grocery shopping. Let's take the Corolla. We went 5 miles to the grocery store and got 2 miles back. And that was when I found out the transmission wasn't running on transmission fluid. The transmission was running on stop leak.
That has since been replaced.
Which eventually clogged the entire filter, and I just didn't have pressure.
Also, he cleaned it. It worked again.
It did?
When we were doing the motor swap, he asked me, he's like, hey, should I just get another transmission? I mean, we have to pull it anyways. I told him yes. I was like, I would, especially since the transmission was on the relatively cheap side. And then when we actually took the axles out, found out it wiped the bearings. So, do you still have the transmission?
Yeah, it's over there.
Is it covered?
I think it's accessible.
How much water's in it?
All of it. I don't need the transmission. I kept the transmission for one thing, and that is the valve body on the bottom.
Oh, okay. Saying that they were binary or something.
Non-binary.
I was like, what does that mean?
Yeah, they don't identify as either male or female.
We're doing a challenge in a couple of weeks. Actually, I think it's 3 weeks. 3, maybe even 4. It's going to be at private property. Nobody else is going to be able to be there. Somebody I know is fortunate enough or not Fort Jeff. Somebody I know is allowing us to have this challenge thing there. It's on 8 acres of land. We have access to a tractor. He's excited. And we're going to be able to do, I think we're going to have 4 challenges, one of which he doesn't even know about, and he's about to find out. Obviously, there's going to be a looks challenge. We're not going to go for a ride in this car like I normally do. The reason why is one of those challenges is an exhaust note. It's going to be all at once. I'm hoping your wife's going to be there as well. I know she's not going to be riding and like going through the challenges with us, but she'll be there.
Should be.
My wife will be there. The other car we're using, his wife will be there, and then there's going to be people who own the property that we're going to be at. We're all going to be judges. It's going to be a silent thing. There's going to be a box. Everybody's going to vote for their favorite sounding car, their favorite looking car, and then we're going to do a drag race that'll be on dirt. I have an honest feeling that I'm going to lose the drag race pretty heavily. He'll be in second, and if the other gentleman learns how to drive, he'll beat us. He should beat us both.
Shots fired.
That's what's up. The 4th challenge is going to be the most fun in my own. The 4th challenge is going to be, it's going to involve all 3 cars. And what it's going to be is everybody's going to start one at a time in my Corolla. Now, well, my wife's, it ain't mine. She's going to kill me when she sees this video. Mine has 4-point harnesses in it, and I'll get to that when we do that introduction. But you're going to start out in my car, you're going to run the time lap, you're going to come out, you're going to get into the next car, run a lap, come back, get out of that car, and go to the next Corolla, run a lap, come back. Now, your time will not end until you're back with the 3rd car.
I like it.
Yep, something completely different. Everybody will get a chance in everybody's car. The only bad part is everybody has driven my Corolla. I have not got to drive that in rally. I've gotten to drive it, but I didn't rally it. And the same with the other Corolla. I didn't rally it. So
I have driven the other Corolla.
You have. So is Kennedy. Kennedy owned that Corolla at one point, remember. So the one who is actually, for a change, at the biggest disadvantage for that is me. Everybody will know how my car drives. I will not have a clue how his car drives or the other Corolla. So that'll be a fun time. There's going to be a video about it. It'll probably be a little bit longer of a video. Most of the time I try to keep the videos between 15 and 20 minutes. Sometimes I succeed, sometimes I don't. The Morse Minor, I did not. That was almost 30.
Totally worth it, though.
Yeah, if you haven't checked the Morse Minor video out, you need to go see that. Anyways, this is getting warm, and we're on a tangent.
It's so hot.
It's Florida. It's probably, I'm going to guess, 95-ish outside right now. We're both just rambling on. It'll just be fun to go back and look at this when we do the videos because it'll be fun to watch. So yeah, I think the actual date we're going to be doing the challenge is August 20th. I think that's going to be the day that we do the challenges because it'll be pretty quick. It'll just be, we vote who has the best sounding car, the best looking car, the drag race, which this will be in a never-ending pissing contest, and then there'll be the timed one. I'm hoping to get the guy who owns it, I'm hoping to get him, as long as I can get everybody to agree to it, to do the same challenges. Like the last one especially, where we can all just go throw it around. Because his property isn't like St. Lucie, where it's rutted up from heck and beyond. So, yeah, that should be a lot of fun. Keep an eye out for it. I'll, of course, I'm gonna release each one of these cars separately in an introduction video. I'll probably keep it a little bit shorter, because we're already at 40 minutes. So keep an eye out for it. It'll be a fun video to watch. There will be a bunch of shenanigans. I can guarantee at least one car will be treated very inappropriately. His not so much, because I think you're driving yours up.
I will be the only person driving their car to the challenge and back home.
Also, it's the only one that's
to the challenge. Back home is yet to be determined.
Yes, there is that. However, his is also the only one that's got a insurance and a license plate on it. The other two don't. Well, that's not true. Kennedy might be registering his, because he sold the Camry.
Okay.
Yeah.
He said he was going to register the...
Yeah. So, yeah. That'll be a fun day. I'm looking forward to it. I'm sure he is too, even though it's going to be inconveniencing our wives a little bit, and some are more thrilled about it than others. But I don't know who's more thrilled about it than the other. I think they're all just unhappy about it. Although I'm going to try to get the wives to take a run in it. I know Ellen will drive our Corolla.
Corolla.
Yeah, her Corolla. I just work on the thing. I don't know if she'll drive yours, and I'm pretty sure she won't drive Kennedy's either, unless she gets froggy. If Ann decides to jump in on it, she'll probably
will too.
Yeah. calling y'all out. So, guys, I appreciate you watching. I am trying to do something with this YouTube channel. I am gearing it more towards, like I said already, I'm gearing it more towards these junk cars, if you will. And, you know, they are junk. Let's all be real. That car
should have been in a junkyard.
Should have been in a junkyard
5 times
Yep.
by now.
Mine definitely should have, and we'll get to that later. And the same with the other Corolla. It should have gone to the junkyard, and we'll get through all that. But yeah, I really want everything to go down this route. I really enjoy this. I think it's fun because you get more of a backstory. You know, nobody just goes, oh, I'm going to go buy a piece of junk car. They're going to go buy a piece of junk car because they want to do stuff to it. Their intention is to do exactly what you're doing. You're making it your own. You know, it's not like, you know, we both drive newer trucks, but at the end of the day, if there'd be days that I would much rather drive something else, but I like air conditioning, and I'm not giving up my AC. He fixed his. My Corolla, we'll get to that.
I don't think you could air condition your Corolla.
No.
Huh?
No, there's something. There's something that I'm waiting on Ryan to verify. We'll talk about that off camera. So I hope you guys enjoy this. If you guys do enjoy stuff like this, especially the challenge stuff, please let me know. I will be more than happy to organize it. A lot of my friends already know I do organize quite a bit of the stuff we do. I love doing it, and they all like thank me for doing it. But the flip side is, if I didn't have them doing it with me, I wouldn't be able to do it. So I would love to organize more challenges, do that kind of stuff. If you guys like it, if you guys just like enjoy seeing random stuff like this where somebody has made it their own, I have no problems with that as well. If you guys have a car you want me to do this stuff too, I will be polite about it, even if I don't like the thing. I'll be honest. Let's just get that out of the way. I will be honest about it, but we'll see how it goes. Guys, questions, comments, please like and subscribe to the channel. Doesn't take you guys but a second to do. It helps me out a lot. It encourages me to do more videos. And if you guys enjoy the videos, then great. You guys will get more. I'm gonna have once a week for the next year if it goes somewhere, and if after a year it doesn't go somewhere, we'll see what happens. Guys, take care. Enjoy life. It's way too short to be doing boring stuff.
And if you want to see more about the vehicles that you've seen in the background, go ahead. I'm going to make him put a link to my channel in the description. Go ahead and hop on over there, and I'm going to probably do a fleet video now that
They're all introduced.
the YouTube ball is rolling.
Yes.
And not deep dives, but just to introduce what we have in the background here. Go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe. Don't